Hey guys, and welcome back to Rad Resells. I'm Natalie and I'm a full-time reseller, and in today's video, I'm going yard selling. I'm also hitting up an estate sale, so let's go and see what people are getting rid of that we can flip for a profit online. Let's get into the video. Alright, pulling up to this yard sale, the first thing I spot obviously are these sets of golf clubs. Let's take a look at the one on the right first. I see Top Flight. Even for kids, these can go for a decent amount of money, like $80, but then I grabbed this driver and it's not Top Flight. I was not aware of this brand at the time, but this one is a bolo. It's actually got a really good value even for just a driver. It should be about $40, but if you can find the complete set for the US Kids Golf DB3, they are easily going for $100 to $150 for the set. Now, that was the only one that was there. The rest was Top Flight and another different one. So I was kind of turned off by the fact that it wasn't a complete set. Now, if I could have gotten that whole bag with the golf clubs for $20, I would have picked it up. But over to the golf sets on the left. This is a major bolo. And these were not priced as a set, but $5 per club. So we got Wilson Staff D300. These go for hundreds. So if you got the set, they are going for around $200, even $250. But of course, you have to make sure that we got the complete set. I pull out this one. This shaft is gone. And also, this was a different brand. So I'm like, oh, wait, hold up. It was hidden under the Wilson Staff head cover, but it was not Wilson Staff. And that's why it's so important to check under every head cover to make sure it's the golf club you think it is. Now, for the Wilson Staff D300 golf clubs that I am interested in, almost all of the irons were there besides number 8. And whenever you're missing something from a set, it does devalue the set. However, if you can get a better deal, it did say $5 per golf club. They can still sell. I've sold incomplete golf club sets before. You just need to mark it down below the others that have the complete set. So for these that are missing the 8, I would do $150.
I definitely know. Yeah, none. I don't have any.
Hello. Do you by any chance have the 8?
If it's not out there, I don't have it.
Shit. Okay. What could you do on these without the 8?
Well, I was just selling them as individual clubs.
Oh,
for
I
$5 a
see.
piece, yeah. Yeah, this one's a set, like a kid's full set. These were just, I was just selling them $5 a club.
Gotcha. Would you do 20 for them?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. As I'm walking out, I noticed one of the shafts on the golf club P is completely gone and needs to be replaced. I'm like, darn. Anyways, turning 20 into potential 150. I'll even take 100. Okay, try them on.
Yeah.
Oh. How much are these?
Luann. Luann.
$10. They're the on clouds, $10.
Finally, a pair of on clouds that were in excellent condition. Normally when I find these, they always have a lot of wear. So for these, I'm expecting around $40 to $50. This was actually a really clean North Face backpack. I was considering getting it for us, however, we got enough at home. I still looked it up on eBay to see how they are selling, and you could get 20, even 25 for it, but the sell rate is not great, so you'll be holding on to it for a while, so I decided to pass on it.
you guys do 8 on these?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You need a bag?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Good.
You want the bags? Cover it up. Slide down in.
I absolutely love walking into a garage sale that just actually has a lot of stuff. So many people have so-called yard sales or garage sales and they have 5 items on a table. They also had clothes hanging on the wall, and I saw a vintage Lakers sweatshirt that I definitely wanted to take a closer look at.
Excuse me. Could I take a look at the Lakers sweatshirt, please?
And the first act on stage opening the show was our struggling young hero from Minneapolis. But for some reason, the audience is waiting to see the stars. Didn't like this singer-songwriter.
You don't know what size it is, do you? The tag's gone.
I don't. Oh, it is.
Yeah. Do you have any more Lakers?
No, we did have one. We sold it. It was a real nice jersey. And
Oh, shoot. Okay.
just sold it.
So they didn't have any more Lakers stuff, but they did have a 49ers sweatshirt. So the husband went into the house and came out with it.
Oh,
Yes,
it's
that's
the
right.
old,
Yeah.
yeah.
Joe Montana, Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
The best 49ers.
Exactly.
For these sweatshirts, I'm expecting around $30 a pop. So the Lakers sweatshirt was priced at $5, and I asked if she could do 3, but she counted me at 4.
Yeah, both $8.
4 each? Sure.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
she said $4, so
Yes.
With negotiating at yard sales, get comfortable being uncomfortable. The worst you can get is no.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Stuff in this basket needs hung up.
Okay.
I can do it. I'm just letting you.
You wear our breakfast?
How much are your shoes?
They're all different prices. We just went to go get some stickers.
Gotcha. Thank you.
As a reseller, that is my most hated answer whenever I ask for a price. Oh, it depends on the item, or which one? Because then you know they're gonna price up stuff and not have a fixed price, which means it's going to be more expensive. Anyways, I did look at these pretty fresh Nikes, but they are not selling well at all. And if they are selling, it's anywhere from 25 and then one sold for 50, including shipping. But she wanted $15, so I decided to pass on these. With Nike shoes, you have to be very selective. Hey, Will. On this table though, fortunately, every clothing piece was $2, and I found this Levi's 501XX. We usually sell these for about $25. Now, they're not the hottest seller in terms of how quickly they sell, but they always end up selling. So we do pick them up if we can get them for less than $6, $7. And again, these were all $2. But at the bottom, or almost at the bottom of the pile, was a bolo. It's called Perk. We have found this a few times in the past, and they all sold super quickly for around $30. Unfortunately, the last piece was not another Perk, but I was super stoked to get this for $2. But then I take a closer look at it, and we got a big stain on the front thigh. It was even worse in real life, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want that. So I had to pass on that, but Perk, definitely a bolo.
$2. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Maybe we should bring them out here. Eleven.
At this next yard sale, he had some really nice expensive equipment out, and you just know this is going to be expensive. So we got some cameras action, we got the Nikon, different models, and he had like everything with it, the lenses, the bag, you name it. I don't even know the name of everything. Now, these cameras can also be worth over $100 or even in the hundreds, so still ask how much they want for it. Sadly for me, he did want a bit too much for me to pay up for in terms of reselling. For example, the Nikon N90 camera he's got here, very good model to be on the lookout for, great sell-through rate, and the camera alone could go for $100, and this one was also in excellent condition. But since this one came with a lot more, you would get more than what these comps say, maybe another 100.
Does it still work?
Yeah, it's got the flash too and the exposure meter. I don't know if people even use these anymore. But
How much are you asking for it?
150 for everything.
Okay.
All the extra filters and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At this next yard sale, I spotted a Golf Bolo, which is tailor-made, and this is one of their drivers. The model specifically is the RBZ. However, this one was priced at $75. And looking at the comps, they're ranging from like 60 up to 160, but with this one having quite the wear, scratches and marks, we're looking at the lower end of that. So not even worth picking up for 75. You can get a better deal online in a better condition. Also looking in the garage, they had a bunch more golf stuff and golf clubs, but they were not for sale. But let's be real, they would probably want eBay prices for them anyways.
I'm at the estate sale right now and they didn't have a time, so I was just assuming it was around 8 o'clock. It's 10 to 9 right now and they're opening at 9, so I'm here when they open. Let's go!
So estate sales is another way of sourcing. A lot of the times they can have really good deals because obviously they really want to get rid of everything. Now we tend to stay away from bigger companies because they price things up. This one is run by a smaller company. They're fairly new. We've actually been to multiple of their estate sales before, and they always have good prices. They like the stickers. We're talking $1, $2, $3, $4, and $5, unless we're talking about the furniture, obviously. So walking into the closet, I spot this NFL Redskins jersey. Redskins is the original name. They are now called the Commanders, and if you are selling on Depop and you pick up something that is Redskins, you cannot use the word Redskins. That listing will be taken down, so you have to use Commanders. And this jersey was Griffin, and it had a terrible sell-through rate. I ended up putting it back due to stains. It would have to be in perfect condition for me to pick it up. If you made it this far and you enjoyed this type of content, we post twice a week. Please hit that subscribe and like button so you don't miss out on future videos, and it really helps our channel and motivates us to keep creating content for you guys, so we really appreciate the support. Anyways, back to the estate sale. As you can see, there's a lot of hard goods and furniture here, and I wish there was a little bit more clothes and shoes here, but there wasn't. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of furniture here, so if you do Facebook Marketplace, estate sales can be a gold mine for you. Now, we don't, so we tend to ignore all of the furniture. Imagine my surprise turning around in the bathroom and seeing 2 cameras just chilling in the shower. Like, who puts cameras in here? Granted, the shower's not on, but still, we got a Canon AE1 camera, and if these work, definitely a good pickup. However, it was pretty grimy, and I assumed it was just for parts only, so that's how I filtered down the comps. And as you can see, here is the overview of the prices. So Red sticker means $5. The other camera is a Miranda camera, and also a good model to be on the lookout for. Now again, I'm looking them up by parts only, so I don't even know if they're working. But they are still selling for $30 to $50, even $70, but that's when you have the longer lens. Since this one doesn't, and it's also not in the cleanest condition, I'm expecting around that $30 mark, which I was surprised about. But in terms of the Canon one, this one is way too grimy. I don't know what that layer is, but it just did not seem like something that would sell, so I did decide to leave the Canon one behind. But you tell me if I made a mistake there.
Here.
Yeah, I like that blue one. Mercy would bring.
Now there was some really cool stuff in this tiny house. A lot of it was Asian inspired too, which I thought was really cool. But unfortunately, I didn't find anything else at this estate sale, so it was a little bit of a letdown. It always sucks when you can't really find anything and you just wasted your time. But at the end of the day, it's also part of the reality of being a reseller. Most of the estate sales or yard sales that you go to are not home runs. You might get 1 or 2 items, and you get lucky if you get more. Just keeping it real.
Well, we don't get to choose, you know.
Alright guys, that sums up today's yard sale video and estate sale. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to leave that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one.